Hi everyone, welcome to Flypath, LaunchPad's monthly podcast introducing you to members of our community. I'm sitting here with Sophie Thomas, who's a new recruit for David Goff's business, Arrowvane. So do you want to give us a quick little rundown of Arrowvane and what the company's about?
Sure thing. So we're a creative agency, sponsorship and an activation agency. We're a fairly young crew. There's 3 of us at the moment, but we're small and mighty, and big things yet to come.
Cool. Very exciting. So I'm just going to launch right in. I'm going to ask you questions about yourself, and
Yeah, sure.
Answer as honestly or as bluntly or as non-politically correct as you want to.
Okay, perfect.
So let's learn a little bit about Sophie. You're from England.
I sure am. Yep.
What were the top 3 things you learned at university? Did you study over there? Did you study here?
Yeah, so I studied in Brighton, which is quite a long way away from my hometown, which is in the Midlands. So top 3 things I learnt at school or university. I think I definitely, to be open-minded would be my number 1. Brighton is a fantastic city with all walks of life, and so it was good to come out of my little village in the countryside and be in such a diverse city. So I think that would be my number 1. Number 2 is work really, really hard. I think in my first university year, as you do, just went out and partied, no parents. So, but it was, I remember coming to my exams at the end of the year, and if you fail them, you don't get into the second year. And I hadn't gone to any of the lectures, and I had to revise really hard for these exams. But if I'd have just gone at the start and consistently all the way through, then I would have done a lot better, and I think it probably would have set me up for success later on. But I'd say they're my top 2. Third one is, gosh, I don't know. I can't think of a third. That's bad, isn't it?
Party less.
Party less, and continue with the sport, because it's great to make new friends, and they're the people that kind of stuck around for life. My sports friends.
Cool. So what would you say your proudest professional or personal accomplishment has been?
Difficult one. And I haven't been prepped for this interview, so these are just the first
That's the point.
interview.
I just bring people in here and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to ask them, and they don't know what they're going to get asked.
So my proudest professional, I would say, I was nominated in my first agency to do a international promotional marketing diploma. And cool. I got a merit, and I was very, very proud of that. It was really, really hard work, because I think I had about 4 clients at the time, and you had to study outside of hours. And I got to pick up my diploma at the House of Commons, and I got to take my mum, and she's never been, so very proud moment for me. And not everyone gets to go, so yeah, I was very proud of that one.
Okay. So tell me about the first moment that you realised that your perspective on the world had been challenged, and what that was and what that meant for you.
Heck, that is...
Yeah. It's a deep and meaningful.
Whoa.
We dig right in.
It's really hard to think of something without getting really, really political. So
you can get political. It's okay. No one listens to these anyway.
Okay. We were talking about this the other day, and it sounds so silly, but I was watching Homeland the other day, and my boyfriend is from Ireland, and Northern Ireland, so we talk about the IRA a lot, and what that means. And obviously I'm English, and unfortunately I lost somebody in the IRA attacks, so for me, their culture, they say a lot about up the Ra, which means up the IRA, and my boyfriend said to me, every act of terrorism is somebody's freedom, and trying to think of terrorism from the other perspective. And Homeland as well, we were talking about that classic case of when the Americans are bombing the schools.
Yeah.
So I think that it was sort of a more recent flashbulb moment of, and I thought I was quite good at being democratic and seeing things from the other side, but that really, really did challenge me. So yeah.
Okay. Something a bit lighter. So something you've been that's your favourite chocolate. Something that's got no calories but all the flavour.
Doesn't exist.
Something interesting you've watched, read or listened to in the past week. You can't use Homeland.
Something I've watched, read or listened to. I listen to a podcast for all those feminist guns out there called Unfuck Your Brain.
I love that. That's amazing.
It is absolutely incredible. It's about this ex-lawyer called Karen Lowenthal, and she talks about how you, because as women we've been raised by society to think in a certain way through social norms. But this is a really interesting way of trying to manage your thoughts, such as imposter syndrome, which I found I've had in the past. And if anybody wants to check it out, I think it's really, really useful. For the train.
What's imposter syndrome? That's where you feel like you're not worthy. You feel like you're.
So you think you're an imposter in your role. So,
Yep. I've heard a lot of people talk about this.
Yeah. So you go to work and you think, I'm not capable of this job. Or even your achievements. A lot of the time people think that it was a fluke that they made it. Or, I only got that degree because my dad knows one of the lecturers, so he must have given me a good marks. Okay. So you can create all these excuses for yourself, but she, her biggest concept is that your external factors don't create your feelings, your thoughts create your feelings.
Yeah.
So change your thoughts, which will change your feelings. So some of the things I take with a pinch of salt, but others have been total light bulb moments that I've just been like, wow. So check that out.
Unfuck Your Brain. Where is it on?
Unfuck Your Brain. I listen to it on Spotify.
Yeah, I'll have to.
A podcast recommending a podcast.
Yeah, I know. Guys, check it out. So, if you think of the interactions you've had with people around you, what's the strangest one that you'd say led to something unexpected, but in a positive way?
I would say, it's not strangest, but I worked at my last agency for 3 years, and there was a producer there that was kind of in a bit of a clique, and I hadn't really spoken to her at all, and I thought she was a bit unapproachable, and I think she thought I was a bit unapproachable. And one day she added me on Instagram, and I looked through and saw she was a bodybuilder on the side. And I was like, what the hell? So I thought, I'm going to pluck up the courage and go and ask her if she wants to do a gym session, because I don't know anything about the weights or what I should be doing. And anyway, now she's one of my best friends in Australia. I absolutely love her. She's an absolute gem, and it just shows you people have got such interesting things that they do on the side, and you should always try and I think LaunchPad is really good for that. Encourage people to chat and get to know one another.
It's kind of the point of why we do this as well, because you never know kind of the interesting stories that people have. There's someone in the community has seen Nirvana play live, which is like to a 90s baby is amazing.
Yeah.
Like so many interesting things. So it's kind of always good to keep your mind open.
Absolutely.
Tell me about a time where you felt very connected to your community or to the world around you, and what that was.
Very connected to the community. I would say, so as of, probably this year and last year, I've decided to give up on big supermarkets.
Oh, yes.
So I try where possible to not shop at Coles or Woolworths at all. So every Saturday I go to South Melbourne Market, and I often pop down the road to Localised and see Vince, who offers you a cup of coffee or chai.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's so kind and amazing. And just building that relationship with people who bring local food to your table. I'm a big fan of Nigella, and she actually went to an interesting School of Life Thought, which was all about, taking the time to prepare local food for yourself. But I would say, as I do that and as I meet these people and go to the same places, that's kind of my real connection to Melbourne.
Yeah. Yeah. One person in the ecosystem, in the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Melbourne that you'd like to meet, or even a LaunchPad that you'd like to meet, and why?
Oh, that's hard because I'm English.
Yeah.
But I was reading an article on, I think it was The Drum, about the top creatives globally to watch out for, and there were 2 creatives from the Monkeys that looked absolutely amazing. There were lots of names, so I can't remember their names, but I would love to meet those 2.
The Monkeys is in the band, The Monkeys?
No, the agency. The band?
I only understood that because it's a Simpsons reference.
I'm sorry.
They don't even play their own instruments.
Amazing.
Favourite Simpsons episode? While we're on that tangent, because I know you're into the Simpsons.
I just love Ralph. So when Ralph gives that Valentine's card to Lisa, that is my absolute favourite. He just comes out with some crackers, and my sister and my brother and I just always regurgitate Ralph quotes.
I think I can relate to Ralph and the rejection. So,
so you got a boyfriend?
Real. I do, but he's a good one.
Not that rejected.
Okay, so what do you think is the most interesting thing happening in Australia right now from an English-British perspective coming into this country? What have you seen that's kind of excited you?
Oh, lots and lots and lots of things. Can I just tell you all the things you do well?
Okay.
Oh, your food is so bloody good, and I just can't believe how many good brunch places there are. Like, it just blows my mind.
Yeah, that's true.
And each brunch place is different in its own way, and you just pull together all the best resources and make the most incredible food, and obviously coffee. But that's a given. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a shout out to the food of Australia.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I haven't travelled that much, but compared to Melbourne, I don't think I've been anywhere else where the food is just consistently good.
Yeah, and you don't have to, break your bank or...
No, which is true. Very, very true. Okay, we're going to dive down into some more deeper meaningfuls.
Oh, crikey.
What do you think...
Wasn't mentally prepared for
I
this.
know, that's the point.
She's dragged me off the street.
I do this, because I like to kind of... What's people's automatic response? That always reveals more than if they have time to prepare. If they have time to prepare, then you kind of...
God, I look like there's not going on. There's not a lot going on upstairs. Oh, well.
So the biggest struggle you think humanity will face in the next 5 years?
Oh, bloody easy. The Amazon on fire is just... Oh, I try not to think about it too much, but...
So I haven't been following this. What has caused this? There's been rumours flying around that it's like non-for-profit starting these fires to get additional funding. I don't know.
That
if
sounds
I
like
believe
something
that
Donald
kind of
Trump would say.
But what's going on? The Amazon's on fire. A lot of the Amazon? How much of it?
Well, it gives us 20% of our oxygen. I mean, enough of it is going on fire. I can't tell you how much, because I've tried not to look at it and just donate where possible, because it just makes me so sad. It's just awful.
Do they know what caused the fire? No.
Well, they're saying big oil companies have burnt it down so they can drill for oil.
Okay. Sorry, my voice went really high there. I was like, yeah. Of course it was the oil companies.
I know. I just think humans are destroying the world, and it's about time that we stood up. And I think a lot of people think, oh, who am I? I'm just the middleman. But it's us middle people that have got the most power.
Yeah,
if we
of
stop going
course.
to crappy supermarkets like Coles and Woolworths and start supporting the Vinces, then eventually they're just going to go bust.
Mm-hmm. I used to work for an FMCG company. I've heard some pretty shocking horror stories around what they do to their suppliers and what they've done to farmers. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. Stop going to supermarkets.
Yeah. I mean, I did used to work for Coles, but...
You have an insider's perspective.
We're evil.
Evil.
No, I might want a job though.
You're like, you're evil, but pay me money.
No. I still won't go. But
No.
Yeah.
Okay. The next 10 years, the biggest struggle humanity will face.
I think the ongoing, immigration and the ongoing concept of embracing diversity and welcoming people into your community is going to be a struggle. You can see, like, people are already, I mean, America is a horrible example of that, but 10 years, well, yeah, I think that would be a one to watch out for.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, what else do I want to ask you about? What one problem do you most want to see solved in your lifetime?
Saving the planet. Like, if we don't, then my children aren't going to enjoy it. My grandchildren aren't going to enjoy it. Like, there's not going to be anything. Like, it's the foundation to everything. So let's sort that one out.
Yeah. And the backup plan is Elon sending us to Mars. Let's hope
what the
that
hell
doesn't
that's
happen.
all about. So weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Imagine not being able to go surfing because there's no beaches. Not that I
and
go surfing.
that's your biggest concern with Mars.
No, but I'm like, not that I go surfing, but like imagine having but imagine the landscape being, I can imagine the landscape would just be red dirt. I'm sure there's like more nuances to Mars, and I'm kind of giving it credit. But
I think it's a very, very last resort. But I don't think it's going to actually work though. What we're trying to propose, because the atmosphere is too thin or something.
yeah.
Anyway,
Let's
just save the one we've got.
save it. Stop polluting it
Being
and doing
bad.
bad things.
Being
Stop
baddies.
being bad. Let's get all the bad people, put them in one place. Okay.
And what's next?
What's next? I can't finish that on the podcast. I was like, we'll put them all here and then we'll deal with them later. Hunger Games. No. I always end with this question.
Oh God.
If there were no constraints, so if everything was possible, there were no resource issues, you didn't have to worry about money or, whether or not it's actually technologically possible, what would you love to build and why?
What would I love to build?
Yeah. Could be anything.
Ugh. Yeah, it'd just be boring. It would be a school, a huge school with really, really good people and good teachers. And there's no question of who's allowed in or not. There's no cap on age. If you want to learn, then you can go there.
Interesting. It's not motivated by the profit incentive, maybe?
Well, if money's not money's not an issue.
Not an issue. There you go.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Knowledge is power, people.
It's true. Okay, thanks, Sophie. It's been a very kind of ad-libbed podcast.
I know.
This
God.
one.
I feel like I've tripped up there, but
No, it's
anyway.
good.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone. Hopefully you listen to this. If you don't, well, that's okay too. And we'll see you next month with someone else in the community. See you later. See you guys. Bye.